Crop Hunger Walk is an annual hunger walk held in Milwaukee for the past 30 plus years. It was to bring awareness of poverty and hunger, local and international. Some of the communities here in Milwaukee were able to raise food. We had our wonderful big sponsors who contributed, one of the high schools, St. Alfonso's High School, who contributed a lot to the hunger walk, and there was other communities who contributed also, who raised fresh fruits for our local pantries. And so Hunger Task Force was one of them who we raised the food for, and that was contributed there, bringing awareness to the U.S. of communities in other countries that are going through hunger and poverty. Some of the things that people did not understand when it comes to hunger in other countries, and I always share this, is there is no food share in other countries. There is no assistance. Either you have it or you don't have it. And I think that was the biggest push for me, especially coming from Mexico, knowing the disparities that they were out there when it comes to food in other countries. I think that pushed me even further to show people and bring that awareness here to Milwaukee. I think the importance also is the economic development in other countries. That was important. What people don't understand in other countries, some people say, well, we contribute the money, that should be enough. But economic development is extremely important in other countries. Some people say, would not understand what that meant. So some of the things that were extremely important in other countries. So Church World Services was the larger organization for the walk, and here in Wisconsin, Interfaith Conference of Greater Milwaukee was the sponsor for the annual walk. So to bring the awareness. So some other countries, when it comes to the economic development, what that meant was there is other countries that needed to stand on their own. What does that mean? Is that the contributions and the money that was given to them, some of the things that were really important that was developed amongst that is in other countries, such as in South America and Mexico, where some of the people who are in the smaller and poorer cities, towns, I would say, is some people need the animals to be able to contribute to that. What does that mean? So say, for instance, chickens. They're able to get eggs, have chickens, that allows them to resell eggs, to sell eggs for some money to contribute back to what they're purchasing, buying. Some of it was within animals, those that would say have a cow. What is a cow going to do? And so it would be the milk from the cow, to sell the milk from the cow. Small things like that people, I think, in this particular country don't have an awareness of how that helps other countries out when you're contributing. And then even here in Milwaukee, working with many of the families here, was an understanding that many people have is, well, you know, there's food share, there's pantries, that should be enough. But people really don't realize that many of the people who are low-income families, or what one would consider very low income, is that the income that they're receiving is not enough to contribute to the food that they have, say, within a week. And the food share would not cover that, and even going to a pantry would not cover for that whole month. So I think it's really important that people have an understanding to that, of how and what the impact that Crop Hunger Walk would have locally, but also internationally. So some of the funds that were raised here would stay here. The other portion would go internationally. The food, of course, stays here to the local food pantries and to Hunger Task Force. I believe that my goal there with Interfaith was to bring the awareness and for people to understand what the annual Crop Hunger Walk was about and how people could contribute to it.